Let's talk about that feeling, the one that tells you something's off, even when the world around you seems perfectly ordinary. It's late, the house is silent except for the hum of the refrigerator and the distant sound of a car passing by. You're alone, but you can't shake the sense that you're not. Even when everything looks normal, when the street outside is calm and your home is just as you left it, there's a tension in the air you can't explain. It's not about logic or evidence. There's no shadow in the corner, no creak on the stairs, just a knot in your stomach and a racing mind. It's instinct, a primal alarm system we're often told to ignore. Centuries of evolution have hardwired us to sense danger even when we can't see it. We've all felt it, walking faster to your car at night, heart pounding, scanning the shadows for movement, locking the door behind you in broad daylight, even when you know you're safe. It's a ritual, a way to quiet that inner voice, at least for a moment. This isn't about being scared. It's about being smart and listening to that quiet whisper that says, "Don't go down that dark alley." It's the difference between caution and paranoia, a line we all walk, whether we admit it or not. This story is about a woman who trusted that feeling, even when she couldn't see or prove anything was wrong. She sat in her living room, every sense on high alert, the silence pressing in around her. Because she listened, she made a 911 call that remains one of the most mysterious on record. Her voice trembled, but her conviction was clear. Something was wrong, even if she couldn't say what. It's a story that validates every time you've felt that inexplicable chill, every moment you've second-guessed your own intuition. So get comfortable. Maybe lock your doors, check your windows, and settle in. This isn't just a story, it's a reminder that your instincts are there for a reason. We're diving into a story at the intersection of true crime and the unexplained, a place where facts blur with fear and the unknown lurks just out of sight. It'll make you question what's real, what's imagined, and why you should never dismiss that little voice. Because sometimes it's the only thing standing between you and the unthinkable. Sometimes that voice knows more than your eyes and ears. Let's get into it. April 17th, 2024. The world outside Maya's house was calm, suburban silence broken only by the distant hum of a passing car, the occasional bark of a neighbor's dog. Inside, the air felt heavier. Maya was home, winding down for the night, her routine a quiet comfort after a long day. She sipped her tea, letting the warmth settle her nerves, and tried to lose herself in the soft glow of the television. She'd locked her doors, turned on the TV, but a strange unease crept in, an inexplicable tension that made every shadow seem deeper, every sound sharper. She checked the locks, peeked out the windows. Everything looked normal. The world outside was still, but inside, her heart raced. Still, the feeling grew stronger, like she was being watched. The hairs on her arms stood up and she couldn't shake the sense that something was wrong. She muted the TV. The silence made it worse. Now, every creak of the house, every distant thump seemed amplified, echoing through the empty rooms. Every sound in the house felt sinister. The ordinary became ominous, and Maya's imagination raced with possibilities she couldn't quite name. She tried to rationalize it, telling herself it was just nerves, just the late hour. But her gut screamed at her, refusing to be ignored. Finally, heart-pounding, she called 911. Her hands shook as she dialed, the weight of her fear pressing down on her chest. Her voice was barely a whisper. "I know this sounds crazy, but I feel like someone is in my house. I can't see anyone, but I'm terrified." The words tumbled out, raw and desperate. She apologized for calling, even as fear overwhelmed her. The shame of seeming paranoid battled with the primal urge to survive. How many times have we felt scared but didn't want to make a fuss? The fear of being dismissed can be as powerful as the fear itself. Maya was balancing fear for her life with the pressure not to be a bother. The weight of uncertainty pressed down on her, every second stretching out. Her call wasn't about a visible threat, It was about an unshakable certainty, a primal instinct that something was deeply wrong. And that certainty would soon become something much more chilling. The unknown was about to reveal itself in ways she could never have imagined. Sometimes, intuition is the only warning we get, a whisper in the dark, urging us to act before it's too late. On the other end of the line was Frank, a seasoned dispatcher with over 15 years of experience handling emergencies, everything from break-ins to medical crises. But tonight, the air in the call center felt heavier, the silence between calls almost oppressive. Frank's voice was calm and steady as he asked Maya the usual questions. "Can you tell me your name? Your address? Have you seen or heard anything unusual tonight?" His tone was gentle, but his eyes scanned the monitors, alert for any sign of escalation. Maya's answers came in a shaky whisper. "No, I haven't seen anything. I just feel like something's wrong." Her voice quivered barely above her breath. As Frank listened, he noticed something odd. In the brief silences between Maya's words, there was a faint, rhythmic sound, almost imperceptible at first. At first, he assumed it was Maya's own breathing, quick and shallow with anxiety. But the sound didn't match her pattern. It was slower, deeper, and eerily steady. Frank's training kicked in. He pulled up the audio analysis software, watching as two distinct breathing patterns appeared on the screen, one rapid and uneven, the other slow and deliberate. Frank cleared his throat, trying to keep his voice steady. "Ma'am, is there anyone else there with you?" "Anyone at all?" Maya replied, her voice barely audible. "No, I'm completely alone. I locked the doors. I checked twice." But the breathing continued, steady and unmistakable, threading through the silence like a warning. The call shifted instantly from routine to deeply unsettling. Frank's heart pounded in his chest as he realized the implications. Was someone in the room with Maya, close enough for the phone to pick up their breath? Or was the threat lurking just out of sight, waiting for the right moment? Frank's instincts screamed at him to act. He sat up straighter, his hand poised over the emergency controls, ready to send help at a moment's notice, but the chill running down his spine was real. He now had audible proof that something was wrong, something he couldn't see, but could hear, lurking in the background of Maya's terrified voice. The invisible threat Maya felt had just become terrifyingly real, and Frank knew with a certainty that made his blood run cold that every second counted. After the incident, Maya's 911 call was immediately secured as crucial evidence. In cases like these, emergency calls are not just records. They become forensic artifacts, meticulously preserved for analysis. Audio forensics experts began by digitizing the recording, then used advanced spectrograms, visual representations of sound frequencies over time, to dissect every second of the call. Spectrograms break down audio into its component frequencies, allowing analysts to isolate subtle sounds, like breathing, that might otherwise go unnoticed. In Maya's call, two distinct breathing patterns emerged, each with its own rhythm and tone. One pattern matched Maya's anxious, rapid breaths, shallow and erratic, consistent with someone under stress. The other was lower, slower, and maintained a steady pace, completely independent from Maya's own breathing. Analysts noted that whenever Maya paused or held her breath, her pattern vanished from the spectrogram, yet the second, slower breathing continued unaffected by her silence. To rule out technical errors, experts checked for echoes, line noise, or digital glitches, but the evidence was clear. The second breathing originated from the same location as Maya inside her house. The analysis eliminated all other explanations. Maya's fear wasn't just paranoia or imagination. It was grounded in real, measurable data. There was a real physical phenomenon in her home, captured on a 911 call, yet invisible to her senses. The second breathing was not a trick of the mind, but a presence confirmed by science. In the end, science validated Maya's fear, providing undeniable proof that she was not alone that night. Why did Frank send help so quickly, even before hearing the breathing? It's a question that lingers in the minds of many who've listened to the call. Dispatchers are trained to assess risk, to filter out false alarms from genuine emergencies, and to do it all in a matter of seconds, often in the dead of night, when every sound feels amplified and every silence feels heavier. Dispatchers get plenty of "I feel scared" calls, but Frank sensed something different. It wasn't just the words Maya used, it was the way she said them. There's a subtle difference between someone who's anxious and someone who's truly in danger, and Frank had learned to hear it. Maya wasn't hysterical. She was whispering, controlled, and clearly terrified. Her voice was steady, but it carried a weight, a kind of quiet urgency that's hard to fake. She was trying not to be heard by someone or something else in the house. That calm terror is often a sign of real danger. People in true distress sometimes go quiet, conserving their energy, focusing on survival. It's a kind of fear that makes you shrink into yourself, hoping not to be noticed. Her restraint, her apology, her careful words all pointed to imminent fear. She was worried about making noise, about drawing attention, about what might happen if she said the wrong thing. That kind of self-control in a crisis is a red flag for dispatchers. Protocol says to err on the side of caution, especially with possible intruders. The manual is clear. When in doubt, send help. It's better to risk a false alarm than to ignore a real threat. A quick check is worth it to prevent tragedy. Every second counts when someone's life might be on the line. Frank knew that, and he acted on instinct and experience. When officers arrived, they searched everything: rooms, closets, yard. They moved carefully, aware that the threat could be hiding anywhere. Every shadow was a potential danger. They found nothing. No signs of entry, no one hiding. The house was still, almost eerily so, as if whatever had frightened Maya had vanished without a trace. On paper, it was a false alarm. Another call that led nowhere, another night with no answers. But the audio evidence and Maya's intuition told a different story. There was something in the background, a second, almost imperceptible breath that made everyone uneasy. Sometimes the truth hides in the smallest details. The police report noted her fear and the dispatcher's account of the second breather. It was enough to keep the case open, at least unofficially, in the minds of those who heard the call. Sometimes what you can't see is the most dangerous thing of all, and sometimes the scariest part is never knowing what was really there. Picture Maya, knees pulled to her chest, the only light a faint blue glow from her phone. The silence presses in, broken only by the distant hum of a refrigerator and the soft tick of a clock. Her breath is shallow, her heart pounding so loudly she wonders if it might give her away. In the dispatch center, Frank leans forward, headphones tight, filtering out the chaos around him. 911, what's your emergency? His voice is calm, practiced, but his eyes scan the screen for any clue. Maya's voice trembles. I think someone is in my house. I just have this feeling. I heard something. I can't explain it. Frank's tone softens. I'm sending someone now. Are you in a safe place? Can you lock yourself in? I'm in my living room, doors locked, sitting on the floor. I don't want to move. I'm scared if I make a sound, they'll hear me. Frank asked gently. Is there anyone else in the room with you? Any pets, anyone at all? No, I'm alone. Why are you asking? Her voice cracks, fear and confusion mingling. Just stay on the line. Help is coming. Do you hear anything? Any footsteps? Voices? Frank's voice is a lifeline in the darkness. Maya whispers, No, it's completely silent. I'm trying not to breathe too loud. But Frank hears it. The slow, steady breathing that isn't hers, a chilling undertone beneath her words. Frank becomes her anchor. You're not crazy, Maya. I hear it too. Stay quiet. Officers are almost there. He's not just sending help. He's validating her terror, making her feel seen in her darkest moment. It's a conversation no one should ever have to have, one filled with fear, hope, and the desperate need to be believed. But for Maya, it was the conversation that saved her life and proved she was never truly alone in the dark. So what was really happening in Maya's house that night? The question lingers, heavy and unanswered, as we try to piece together the fragments of a chilling mystery. Some believe there was a hidden intruder, someone so skilled at concealing themselves that even a thorough search missed them. Could someone really evade detection in such a confined space? Or was it something else entirely? Technical glitches were quickly dismissed by experts. The sound was too clear, too localized, and it matched Maya's fear perfectly. There was no static, no distortion, just the unmistakable sound of breathing, close and deliberate. Psychological explanations don't fit either. Both Maya and Frank, the emergency operator, heard the breathing in real time, and crucially, it was recorded, captured by the call center's equipment, leaving behind undeniable evidence. That leaves the most unsettling possibility. Something or someone was present. A presence that could be felt and heard, but not seen. Was it a person, a spirit, or something we can't even begin to explain? The recording captured its breath, clear and chilling. Yet when emergency responders searched every corner of the house, they found nothing. No sign of forced entry, no evidence of anyone else inside. Whatever it was real enough to be recorded, real enough to terrify two people on opposite ends of a phone line. The evidence is there, but the explanation remains elusive, and that's what makes this case so disturbing. The unknown lingers, leaving us to wonder what else might be out there, just beyond the edge of what we can see or understand. This story is a testament to intuition, especially women's intuition. It's that quiet, persistent feeling in your chest, the one that whispers when something isn't right, even if you can't explain why. It's not magic, it's subconscious pattern recognition, honed for survival. Our minds pick up on subtle cues, shifts in tone, a shadow in the corner, a silence that feels too heavy. Society often dismisses this instinct, teaching us to doubt ourselves. How many times have you heard, "You're overreacting," or "It's probably nothing"? But Maya didn't ignore her gut, and the dispatcher listened. That simple act, trusting her own fear, may have saved her life. He found the evidence that proved her right. Sometimes the truth is hidden in the details only intuition can sense. When someone says they're scared, believe them. Fear is a signal, not a weakness. Maya's story validates every inexplicable sense of dread. It's a reminder that your feelings are real, even if you can't put them into words. Sometimes the most important clues are what we feel, not what we see. Like the mother who senses danger before it appears, or the friend who knows to call just in time. Trusting that feeling can keep us safe. So next time your intuition speaks, listen. It might be the most important thing you do. What do we take from Maya's story? Trust your gut. Your instincts are there for a reason, and sometimes they're the only warning you'll get. That instinct is your built-in security system. Lock your doors, check your surroundings, and don't ignore that uneasy feeling. Don't let anyone convince you you're overreacting. Share your concerns with people you trust, and always reach out if something feels off. You know when something's wrong, act on it. It's better to be safe and wrong than sorry and silent. The mystery of the second breather was never solved. Sometimes the world doesn't give us all the answers. Not everything can be explained, but your intuition is there for a reason. Listen to it, honor it, and let it guide you. Be the friend who listens and believes. Support each other, and never dismiss someone's fears. Maya was unharmed because she trusted herself and was heard. Her courage and quick thinking made all the difference. So be cautious, be bold, and always trust that little voice. Prepare yourself, know your exits, and have a plan. Stay sexy and don't get murdered. But seriously, trust your gut. Share this story, talk about safety with your friends, and remember, your intuition is your superpower. Look out for each other and never be afraid to speak up or take action. You might just save a life, maybe even your own.